Hello friends! In a shocking video, a Ukrainian F-16 fighter bomber intercepts a Shahed drone at very close range with an air intercept missile. 120? Advanced medium-range air-to-air missile. Ukrainian sources indicated that this was the last missile available to the pilot during that mission after using all his air intercept missile 9 Sidewinder missiles to shoot down other threats from that swarm. Although the advanced medium-range air-to-air missile valued at $1 million per unit far exceeds the cost of the Shahed, which is $50,000, the alternative of letting it hit a power distribution substation that supplies electricity to the civilian population makes it necessary to use it. The group Primary, which means ghosts in Ukrainian, has returned to action over Crimea. This time, they show us how they deal with Russian air defenses by deliberately demilitarizing another panzer from the horde, so that tourists can't see what's coming their way. Later, they proceed to break down into pieces an expensive Nebo-M radar, which supposedly can detect the F-22 Raptor, but it can't detect attack drones coming at them. $100 million well invested by Ivan. Finally, to end the evening, the ghosts go after an amphibious assault boat Raptor class, which now keeps the Moskva company at the bottom of the Black Sea. A very productive night for the Primary raiders. The same unit reported that during January, they destroyed 6 air defense systems belonging to the invaders, including Panzer batteries, Tormone, Tor-M2 with its supply vehicle, and RLMME radar, which is part of the Nebo-M complex, and a Protivnik GE surveillance radar, all of which opens routes for strategic attack drones and the defenders' air forces to launch attacks behind the front lines. On the Osko riverfront, the Crazy Cat's Unmanned Systems Unit from the 3rd Mechanized Brigade encounters a TE-IGHTY-BV, which Ivan has left unattended in the forest, so they proceed to turn it into a puzzle that Ivan will probably never be able to put back together again. Later on, they see that there are more offerings from the Horde, this time a Bukanka dragging a rocket launcher donated by Kim's Orcs, which is also promptly demilitarized. In a nearby shelter, the tourists have left an arsenal of rockets for the North Korean system, which is sent to the invaders' sky, causing a great scandal. This sector has been especially fruitful because they finally find a shelter with an MTLB. I can hardly believe it. I thought they were already extinct. Well, now they're one step closer to being truly extinct. The refinery season is still open, so during the night of February 14th, the armed forces of Ukraine carried out a long-range drone attack against the strategic Russian port of Taman in the Black Sea, targeting key infrastructure for oil export. According to Governor Zeta of the area, the attack damaged an oil storage tank, a warehouse, and loading terminals, causing fires in 4 fuel storage tanks. Videos circulating on social media show intense flames at the port, which is an important transportation hub for petroleum products, grains, coal, and other commodities. Therefore, it is a critical node for Russia's energy exports through the Black Sea. On the air front, Ukraine is working on strengthening its air combat capabilities. For this purpose, it has decided to allocate part of the €90 billion loan from the European Union for the purchase of a first batch of Swedish Saab 39 Gripen fighter bombers, as confirmed by the Swedish Defense Minister Pål Jonson after holding talks with his Ukrainian counterpart, Mikhailo Fedorov. That's good news, but I think the Swedes are a bit too talkative. Anyway, the initiative is based on the letter of intent signed in October 2025 between both countries. which agreed to acquire up to 150 Gripen Echo single-seat and Foxtrot two-seat aircraft. The Gripen Echo variant stands out for its low cost, interoperability with NATO, and suitability for operations at dispersed airfields, qualities that perfectly fit Ukraine's operational needs. Pilot and technician training on the Gripen system is reportedly already in progress, and that the talks also include the integration of advanced Meteor air-to-air missiles with beyond visual range capability, which will significantly enhance the air combat capability of the Defender Air Force. The number of units to be purchased isn't specified, but with a conservative investment of 3 billion euros, Ukraine could acquire up to 25 combat-ready Gripen E. That number could increase, since given the size of the contract with Saab, the company could offer better prices per unit. We have to see if a similar announcement is made for the Dassault Rafale in the coming days. The invaders keep suffering since Elon Musk cut off their Starlink access, so they have gotten creative and announced the launch of their first unmanned stratospheric 5G platform, with the name Barrage 1 or Bombardment 1, whose mission is to partially supply the communications traffic for the Z units at the front. Supposedly, this platform has a payload of up to 100 kilograms, which it can carry to an altitude of 20 kilometers, where it can remain for several days. Because of its enormous radar signature and the amount of signals it emits, it's quite unlikely that it would go unnoticed by defenders. We'll see if they can do anything to eliminate Ivan's balloon. Remember when the Russians had a space program? Now they're limited to launching inflated balloons. Everything is going according to plan. This is interesting. A drone operator from the Russian elite division, Rubicon, decided to switch to the Ukrainian side. Miloslav Simonov was forced to serve in the Russian army, where he hoped to end up in the same unit where his father was assigned. Instead, he was sent to a drone unit and later sent to the well-known Rubicon Center. After arriving at the front, he watched in horror at how easily the Russian army gave orders to kill Ukrainian prisoners, and how his commanders justified and mocked an incident where, by accident, one of their drones ended the life of a Ukrainian teenage girl. Miloslav came to the conclusion that the armed forces of Ukraine were the only right option, so he tried to cross into Kazakhstan. However, he was captured before he could do it, and was sent to one of the bar's assault brigades, whose only strategy is to carry out the infamous human wave assaults. He was already familiar with the I Want to Live project, and had made contact with them to coordinate his surrender to the Ukrainian forces. He has announced plans to join the Free Russian units to fight the invading horde. Let's hope that many more of his colleagues realize the reality and start looking for a way out through a controlled surrender. To conclude, the inhabitants of the city of Ivano-Frankivsk stopped to honor one of their neighbors who gave his life to stop the invading horde. A city that will never forget the sons who gave their lives for their country's freedom. For those who want to see additional content, we invite you to subscribe to our Patreon, where for just $1, you'll have access to uncensored war videos. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.